My. Welcome back. All right, so the last two games of the night are on the board. A little bit of news of the day on the board as well, as there are just a couple of things to discuss. I did not do a news video today, so I figured I'd put them at the bottom of the board. There's just the two games on the board, and so here we are. All right, so starting things off, Toronto in Anaheim against the game. This is the game that was, it was a game. Woll versus Dostal. There's an early press by Toronto. Strome can't bury one in close as the Ducks then get some pressure at the other end. Zegras has a net drive, near miss there. Very back and forth start. Very much just, one and done at both ends of the ice. The Leafs score. It's challenged for a high stick, and yes, no goal. And it's interesting because they were challenged for a high stick, missed stoppage against LA. Was decided that wasn't a high stick. This one was. This one did look definitely like it was above his shoulder when he contacted it. Shillington then has a turnover chance. That's held. We get a power play for the Ducks. Vetrano couldn't bury one in close during that. Woll holds on. That power play's killed off 5 shots for Anaheim on that power play. The Ducks press after it's done. There's more pressure by Anaheim at 9 minutes. In fact, the shots are 9-3 for the Ducks at the half. Ducks go back to the power play. Carlson has a rush chance that's kicked aside. Power play's killed off. The Leafs clear after it's done. Ducks press with 2 minutes left. Shillington has a shot that's blocked. And then at 19:24, Domi roofs a backhand from the slot to open the scoring for Toronto. Yarncroke and Lawton with the assist. So I think that's Lawton's first helper as a member of the Toronto Maple Leafs. And it's 1-0 Toronto after one. Second period, there's a near miss for Tavares as the Leafs press early on. We then get a power play for Toronto. Nylander fires one wide. There's a shorthanded rush by Lucas Carlson. Leo Carlson. Lucas Carlson's in this game. Got to keep my Carlson straight. Ekman Larson then with the near miss. That power play is killed off. The Leafs press after it's done. The Ducks then get some pressure 5 minutes in. The Leafs block. They clear it out. Nestorenko has a wrister that's caught and held. Ducks have a 3-on-2 that's broken up. And then at 6:28 on a breakaway, Marner just outweighed Dostal. And it's a filthy goal for Marner. His 91st point of the season. He may get to 100. He absolutely could. Then at 7 minutes and 50 seconds, the Ducks answer to make it 2-1. Carlson puts one past the screen from the high slot. Zellweger and Gauthier with the assists. Then there's a post for Ekman Larson as the Leafs press. Killorn has a 3-on-2 chance that's saved. The Leafs press with 9 minutes left. The Go Leafs Go chant got kind of loud at this point. The Ducks fans tried to drown it out with booing. More pressure by Toronto with 7 minutes left. The shots are 9 apiece with 5 minutes left. Keep in mind that this game started off with the Ducks being very much in control. It kind of did change. Post for Marner on a net drive. The Leafs draw a power play with 38 seconds left. So after the second period, it's 2-1 for Toronto. Third period, a post for Matthews. There's a shorthanded 3-on-1 that ends the Leafs power play and then puts the Ducks on the power play. And the Ducks scored on said power play. At 2:16, Colangelo buries a rebound and close. Zegras and Lacombe with the assists, so 2-2 draw there. Zellweger then has a net feed that is defended. Or net drive that's defended. I put feed instead of drive. These things happen. Things get pushy at the benches, and the Ducks come out of that with a power play. There's a post for Lacombe during said power play. That's killed off. Shots are 3-2 for the Ducks at 6.5 minutes. McMahon has a wrister that's caught and held. Yarncroke to Lawton gets poke checked by Dostal, so goaltender makes sure that puck doesn't get there. And then at 11:34, Lorentz deflects one in close. It was a fantastic deflection to make it 3-2 Toronto. Kampf and Benoit with the assists. This is right around where Terry leaves the bench for for Anaheim. Hopefully he's okay. There's a blocker save on a Hellison one-timer. The Leafs press with 4.5 minutes left. The goalie pull happens with 2:45 left. Then a neutral zone faceoff puts the goaltender back in. The goalie gets pulled again with 1.5 minutes left. The Ducks call a timeout with 1 minute and 6 seconds left. Tavares almost had an empty netter, but the Ducks blocked it. But still, Toronto wins this one 3-2. They go to 45-25-4 and open a 3-point lead atop the division. Now maybe we're going to get the Battle of Ontario in the first round as well as the Battle of Florida. The Ducks 32-33-8 with the loss. The shots on net, 11-6 Anaheim in the first, 13-8 Toronto in the second, 11-4 Anaheim in the third. Final shots, 30-23 for the Ducks. Power plays, Toronto 0 for 2, Anaheim 1 for 4. The hits, 20-5 for Toronto. Woll saves 28 out of 30. Dostal saves 20 out of 23. But I think for Leafs fans that stayed up to watch this, you might have seen what I've been talking about. The Ducks are starting to figure this out, and I think they're going to be a dangerous team next season. All right, And this happened. It is the Sharks. It is the Kings. It's Romanov versus Riddick. Early chance for the Kings. Cagnoni has a wrister that's kicked aside. Kuzmenko's denied as the Kings press. We get a power play for LA. Fiala has a net drive chance that goes wide. The power play's killed off without a shot. To this point, the game's even. And then Dano wires one from a sharp angle right after the power play is done. Byfield and Moore with the assists at 5:35. So Trevor Moore with another point. He's been heating up lately. Teams trade turnovers. The Kings press at 8 minutes. Grunstrom's denied on a rush. Keep in mind, he's now in San Jose, so against his former team. Wants to get one. Byfield has a turnover chance that's held. Shots are 5 apiece at the half. There's a power play for the Sharks. That lasts 19 seconds. And then it becomes a minute and 41 seconds of 5-on-3. So, big chance here. Celebrini fires one wide. There's a post on his next opportunity. And everything gets killed off. Then the Kings go back to the power play, and they score on theirs. Kempe with a wrister from the doorstep at 15:13. Kopitar with the assist. It's 2-0 for the Kings. Fogle then has a wraparound chance that's blocked. It's 2-0 LA after 1. Second period, Graf has a rush chance that's saved. The Kings press at a minute and a half. Kings go back to the power play. Fiala has a shot that's blocked out. The power play's killed off. The Kings press briefly after it's done, and then the puck goes the other way. And Lund buries a net feed. He was the one that had been serving the penalty. It's his second goal. He looked happier than he did on his first goal. The assist to Mario Ferraro, and at 4:52, it's now a 2-1 lead for LA. Maybe San Jose has a chance. Stop cheating. The Sharks then look to tie it. Kempe has a chance that's held as the Kings get some pressure. Shots are 4 apiece at 6.5 minutes. And then at 6:57, Trevor Moore scores. He goes 5-hole from the inner slot. Kopitar and Kuzmenko with the assists. The Kings go back to the power play. Kuzmenko with a near miss. Power play's killed off. 4 shots on net as now the Kings are building some momentum. Kings then draw another power play. There's a shorthanded Lucas Carlson chance that's saved. So there you go. And then a power play marker. Fogle. He scores from Clark and Byfield at 13:31, bearing this one from the doorstep. Basically, the San Jose defense tonight was optional, and the option they picked was no. Eklund has a turnover chance that's held. Shots are 13-7 Kings with 5 minutes left. Kings press with 3.5 minutes left. And in the final minute at 19:02, Fogle tips one 5-hole. The assist to Anderson and Doughty. And then at 19:37 on a tic-tac-toe play, Kempe scores the second of the game. Gavrikov and Kuzmenko with the assists. And it just, honestly, I'm not saying that Romanov had a really good game in net for San Jose or it was some bad luck, but he had no defense in front of him at all. So after 2 periods of play, it's 6-1, and I decided for the third period, I'm going to limit my notes. So Grunstrom has a rush chance that's saved. Kempe has a net drive. That's saved as well. We get a power play for San Jose. That's killed off. And then there's confusion because it was 4 minutes on the player for the Kings. I think it was Mikey Anderson. And they didn't put an extra guy in the box. So when the penalty was done, they didn't have anybody they could let out of the box because the LA player had 4 minutes. So that led to, that all gets cleared up. Nobody cares because the score is 6-1. Is basically what this is. If this was a 2-2 tie, this would have been huge. Like, oh, how do you make that mistake? But it's 6-1. Nobody cares. So shots are 6-5 LA at the half, and at 14:49, Kuzmenko buries one from the slot on a rush because the seas parted. Kopitar and Gavrikov with the assists, and then at 15:22, Lewis scores from Ovarara. And the final score in this one's 8-1, so the No Mercy magnet's on the board. I thought about bringing in a different magnet because I felt like No Mercy doesn't really encompass just how ugly this game was. The Kings go to 41-23-9 with the win. The Sharks 20-44-9 with the loss. And honestly, this was maybe the most lopsided game of the season, even though the shots don't show it. 8-7 LA in the first, 18-8 LA in the second, 10-8 in the third. Final shots 36-23 for the Kings. Power plays, San Jose 0 for 3. The Kings 2 for 5. The hits 18-16 LA. Romanov saves 28 out of 36. Poor kid. Riddick saves 22 out of 23. So yeah, that was an ugly one right there. Very much so. It kind of got a little difficult to watch because I'm not like emotionally invested in a game that's 6-1 going into the third. I'm just like, okay, so are we done yet? Are we done yet? All right. And now let's go ahead and jump into just a little bit of news from today around the National Hockey League. Good news for Minnesota Wild fans. Both Kaprizov and Eriksson Ek full participants at practice today. So while we don't know the exact timeline for when they're going to be returning, it sounds like it may not be that much longer. So hopefully. And then on the Oilers front, McDavid is out for at least the next 2 games, though the expectation is he will be back before the regular season is finished. And obviously the Oilers would like to have him back as soon as possible. So, yeah, McDavid's trending in the right direction, just maybe not as quickly as people might have hoped. There was a trade today that was completed. I know people are going to be confused saying, but the trade deadline already happened. Right. So, Lucas Mercury traded to the Tampa Bay Lightning in exchange for a 2025 6th-round pick going to Carolina. Why? Because Mercury was ready to become an unrestricted free agent on August 15th. So because he was drafted and unsigned, Carolina didn't want to just not have the player and not get any assets, so they get a 6th-rounder, and Tampa Bay signs Mercury to a 2-year contract. He cannot play for Tampa because it's after the trade deadline, but he is Tampa Bay property, and will have a chance to go into training camp next season, and who knows. Very often when players are unsigned, drafted players, they're unsigned and they get traded and then they get signed, a lot of the time those guys end up having half-decent careers, and at some point in time maybe I'll do a video on that. And so, yeah, Mercury over to Tampa. We'll see if he ends up playing for them. And because it's Tampa, I kind of fully expect him to end up debuting for them at some point in time. They're excellent at figuring out, which young players are going to fit into their organization. So they wouldn't have went out and got this player if they didn't believe that he could fit into what their mold is for players. He is a forward as well. So there's never too many forwards you can have in the National Hockey League. Or in your organization, including AHL and ECHL as well. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts regarding this game and this absolute destruction of everything San Jose related. San Jose's got to come up with a better effort next game. This team just gave up. That was done. So let me know your thoughts too about the news items on the board. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. I'll talk to you soon.